chosen whether Final Fantasy 14 is better or Lost Ark is better, because I usually play World of Warcraft, Dota 2. These are my two games. Now I'm trying to add a new game. I don't know whether to go for Final Fantasy 14 or Lost Ark 2, or is there any other MMORPG game that's better than these two. So let's actually watch Asmongold, because like the Lost Ark 2 released like 5 days ago, I think, but it actually breaking all the records. So I'm wondering whether it's better than Final Fantasy 14. So let's watch Asmongold, how he react to it, whether Lost Ark is better than Final Fantasy 14. Let's actually see that.
Is because obviously people want to compare Lost Ark to that other game. What's the other game? New World. So we're gonna look and we're gonna see and compare these two games.
I can confirm that New World is worse, because there are a lot of I watched a lot of contents and people are saying it needs a lot of upgrades.
And see which one's coming out ahead. So obviously a lot of people have been bringing this up. They've been talking about it, getting into it. I want to go ahead. I want to compare the two launches and how the game has done. Now, yesterday obviously was a very big. It was the biggest day for Lost Ark. You know, surpassing viewership records, surpassing player numbers. It was just completely out of this world. And whenever you look at the game had 500,000 people playing who paid real money just to play the game 3 days earlier. That's a big fucking deal. I would say that's a lot. So let's go over here and we're gonna look at this first thing right now. All right, here we go. So we're gonna refresh Steam charts. Damn! 946,000 people playing the game. So it's already got almost as many people playing as it did yesterday, and it's not even 10 a.m. The thing is, you guys got to remember, right, is that this is early in the fucking morning. Like, this is not really going to plateau. Like, let's look and see what plateaus really are. When do plateaus really happen? 1300, right? So that's 1 p.m., 2 p.m. So we're really going to see the climax of this situation somewhere around there. Now, obviously, it could be a little bit later on, and we're also, another thing that's going to factor into this is like, you know, whenever you read a graph, like, you guys know how much I love graphs. Whenever you read a graph, you got to read between the lines, not just read the line. So another factor here is the reality that it's a, what do you call it? It's a weekend day, right? So if it's a day on the weekend, you're going to have more people organically playing the game because those people are going to be more likely to be off. So that's a big factor, and also EU is going to be a big factor too. Absolutely, and EU players, like right now, like for y'all that are in EU, what time is it? I bet it's like what, 6 p.m., 5 p.m., something like that? Yeah, it's like 5 p.m. Yeah, so it's like 4 to 6 p.m. That's about right. So like, yeah, you guys, like, this is already gonna be like we're gonna be rolling into your prime time for like evening gaming, and also just like the main prime time for like NA, which is usually, you know, somewhere around noon for some reason. That's usually whenever things plateau. And if you look at here, that's at about 15 or so, and let's look right here, 15 as well. So actually, no, that's not true. Yeah, I'm looking at this again, and it's looking like maybe we should probably expect to see that plateau somewhere a little bit before. What I'm saying here, right? Let's just step back. This is 9, so it's at 9:46 at 9 a.m. Where was it at 9 a.m. there? It was at 300. So if you look at a 330 and then you go up to 501, that's a differential of obviously 130. Now, what percentage is that? 330 and then 130 more. That's a little bit about, it's like 40%, like 38%, something like that. So if you just extrapolate that number, we're going to probably be seeing somewhere around 1.3, 1.4 million players. That's basically where we're going to see the number end up. Now, that's my prediction based off of how the graph worked before, but we're not sure. Now, let's go over right now. Obviously, okay. Steam charts is going to be...
Let's actually see what's currently going. Steamcharts.com. Steam charts.com. Okay. Oh, holy crap. Okay, so now it actually reached 1 minute. It's become number 1 right now. Holy crap. 1.3 million. Okay, let's see that.
Only one resource because new what's this? Steam. Okay, let's just go over to SteamDB. It's not a big deal. Okay, let's look at this. Wow. Wow. That's a whole fucking lot. God damn, that's a whole fucking lot. Look at that. You love to see these graphs, huh? Look at this. I wonder why this is so much different. Like, it's weird that Steam Charts, by the way, is Steam Charts officially owned by Steam, or is this just a third-party thing? Is it a third-party thing, or is it it's way behind, it's third-party? Okay, yeah, I didn't know. I actually thought Steam Charts was owned by Steam. I have no idea. So anyway, let's look at this one. This is obviously a better resource in this way. Let's look over here. Where is this? Players, so we're at 9.8, and this is 10.0. Let's go ahead and look at week, okay? So this will give us a better idea of like where these peaks occur. So you're looking at a peak at 21 UTC, and then another peak at 21, and then this isn't really the same thing because it's about a different, it was the release time, but let's say 21. So right now, we're only at 15. So according to the graph before, 15 is only halfway through the peak. You see what I'm saying? So it's only halfway through the peak. So if you assume that, again, it's going to keep going up for 4 more hours, 5 more hours, that's a whole fucking lot of people. And I could say easily it could be 1.3, 1.4 million. Is this international? I don't see any indication that it is or that it is not. So I'm going to kind of just assume that it is international. Yeah, I will assume that it's international. Now, one thing to keep in mind here with Lost Ark, and this is a factor that another thing, you know, read between the lines thing, is the fact that people in a lot of these non-English speaking countries, I'm pretty sure, does Korea use Steam? Does Russia use Steam? Do all of these other countries that play Lost Ark and have played Lost Ark? Yeah, I don't think that they do. So all of those numbers are not being included here whenever you're talking about global player bases. But I think that that's pretty much comparable to many other games. And I want to contrast this with other games that we've seen in the past, and we'll look at how the different games have evolved. So obviously, I think the best example here is, let's go ahead. I'm going to open up like 3 more of these. Let's just go ahead and do New World. Where is it? New World. There we go. So this is the, what the hell? Oh, charts. I didn't see that. Okay, yeah, there we go. So there's New World again right there, as you guys can see. And if you look, obviously, and you go down to 6 months or something like that, you'll see, obviously, a lot of people there played the game. That was the peak. It was 913. Other websites log it a little bit higher, but it's somewhere around there. So you see, even at New World, like, it immediately went down. Like, it immediately went down, like, the next day, because people just weren't able to get on, they weren't happy with the game, etc. That seems to not be happening with Lost Ark, which is a good thing. It's absolutely a good thing, so I'm happy to see that for sure. So let's go over and we're going to look at the rest of these too. So look at here, you know, it goes down to 20K, that server went down probably, 21K, etc. So you'll see, obviously, more people will probably move over to Lost Ark temporarily. So we can, like, the thing is that we can look at New World. What other games do you guys want to see? What other game releases do you guys want to see? And we can take a look at it. I mean, Final Fantasy is going to be kind of a hard one to guess, because a lot of the numbers for that are, it's very hard to know what Final Fantasy really is. So I'm not sure. BDO. All right, yeah, we'll do Black Desert Online. Black Desert Online. So that's how many people are playing Black Desert Online right now. And that's just, there are people that use another launcher for Black Desert. I remember I did not use Steam to play Black Desert.
Okay.
So there.
Let's actually see Final Fantasy 14 as well. SteamDB. SteamDB. Okay, Lost Ark. Okay, compare with others. What is this one? Lost Ark, and then Final Fantasy 14. I'm interested in Final Fantasy 14 Online. is this? Okay, Final Fantasy 14 has 32. Okay, why it's showing just one? I'm not sure. Okay, charts. Final Fantasy 14. Okay, so actually I can see it right here. Most played game, players right now. So the Final Fantasy 14 is not even in the top. Okay, let's I don't know whether I can, I don't know how did he compare. Lost Ark and let's see how did he add one more thing compared to where is that? Okay, let's look at New World. Okay, New World, just this is New World, I guess. Let me see, make sure. Okay, this is New World. Okay. Okay, so Lost Ark is actually has more players than Final Fantasy 14. Let's see Final Fantasy 14 current online players. Currently it's only 31,876 players. That's much less than what Lost Ark has. It's like 100 times, like I don't know, I can't even say 1,000 times. So Lost Ark is actually better. Let's watch, continuously watch this.
There are people that used other launchers, so keep that in mind. Yeah, that's basically where it's at. Other people use another launcher? Yeah, I would say so. Same with PoE. Like, I don't use Steam to play Path of Exile either. And Elder Scrolls Online. Elder Scrolls Online. There we go. Let's go ahead and pull this one up. We'll see what this one looks like. It's looking at 20,000. So the ironic thing is, like, New World is actually outperforming a number of these other MMOs. I don't know if there are other people that used a different launcher for Elder Scrolls, though. Again, I'm not sure at all. WoW only has 60K. Well, people don't play WoW. Like, the only way that you can tell and you can compare WoW versus like these other games is through Google Trends. And even Google Trends is not a very accurate indicator for a lot of reasons. So it's very hard to say. It's on console. Yeah, there you go. And react to what's this here? There's a HD. Battlefield 2042. Oh, what's that game? I haven't really seen that one. Battlefield 2042. Okay, what's this? Charts. 4,000 people playing, and it had a peak of 100,000 people. So yeah, that's certainly not a lot of guys. I don't really know why this is. Again, like, I never really played Battlefield before, but it seems like the game was very hyped up and then it just kind of went down and people didn't really give a shit about it. It's a garbage game. Yeah, I mean, the problem is, like, here's really what happens, is that it doesn't matter what you release. With the proper marketing techniques, you can have almost anything hit a very high peak. I think New World is a good example of that. New World was marketed extremely well by Amazon. Regardless of how you feel about New World or if you like New World or not, you can probably agree that New World was marketed well by Amazon. Can we agree with that? Yeah, can we agree? Music is peaking. I'll turn it down a little bit. I don't know why that happens. Let's see. That should be better. Yes, it was marketed very well. So because of that, there were a lot of people who were excited to play it. Everybody was talking about it. And I think that that's really kind of the difference between, you know, like corporate marketing versus like viral consumer marketing and word of mouth. Because corporate marketing creates a graph like this, and consumer marketing and word of mouth creates a graph like this. And that's also the same graph that you can compare with Final Fantasy. Because the thing is that you cannot really, at the end of the day, you cannot buy people's attention. You cannot make people want to play your game. You can't make people, you know, get intentionally focused on your game and want to do it, etc. It's just not going to happen. So like you can see obviously right here, you know, this is whenever I started streaming Final Fantasy, and it went up a little bit. And just in general, like this is about how it was with Final Fantasy too. It went up quite a bit. Save Tree of Savior MMO, please. I don't know what that is. And again, most people don't use the Final Fantasy launcher. How many players are online in Final Fantasy? I don't know. I would say maybe like 150, 200K. If I just had to guess, like, and like that's, by the way, like I have no real frame of reference for that. I'm just randomly guessing. Like it's probably somewhere around there, but I don't know. I don't know what percentage of the player base this really is, but there's more people playing New World on Steam than Final Fantasy, but hardly. And the difference is that New World, everybody plays it on Steam, and Final Fantasy, most people don't. So I don't know what to say there. And check the Steam reviews for Lost Ark. I don't know if I want to look at the Steam reviews. That seems like a pain in the ass, to be honest with you. So I don't really want to go and do a whole lot of that. Those games are free to play, maybe that's why. Yeah, I think that's a big factor too. Like having a game that's free to play, like you have to pay real money to play New World, Lost Ark. New World's buy to play, Lost Ark is free to play. Free to play games do have a much better they have a much better way of holding people's attention, or sorry, getting people into them, because you don't have the barrier to entry of money. I mean, is it really any more complicated than that? I don't really think so. So yeah, that's the main thing. Comparing free-to-play games versus sub-games isn't doing much, to be honest. It's really retention you want to look at. Well, yeah, and that's really the factor, is that like even if you look at, for example, and I know that this database isn't as good, but I just want to do two comparisons on retention, okay? And then after that, we're going to look at some of the stuff on Reddit. I don't want to just sit through and look at graphs all day. I find this very interesting, but many people get fucking bored. So let's go back over, and what was the day that it came out? It was like, what, 9? I guess we'll just do 9. There we go. So September, oh, we don't have any more data points? Okay, well, regardless, like the second day of New World, the player base was already down. The third day of New World, the player base was already down before that, or beyond that. So the difference is that Zoom, can I? Yeah, it seems like we don't have any more data points here. You guys see? Yeah, it just does this. I mean, it's impossible to know, but like what I'm saying is like you guys remember, and pull out the left bar. Sure seems like it doesn't make a difference. Yeah, it doesn't make a difference. It's just simply, listen, like the website only tracks a certain amount of data, and after the data is no longer relevant because it's new, it probably has like some kind of, I don't know, like an algorithm that like it removes data points and it just kind of keeps trends, if that makes sense. That's what I'm assuming, just so they can save server space, because they're tracking so many different games. Anyway, so I'm not going to get too far into that, but what I'm saying here is that New World immediately went down in viewers. Lost Ark did not. So if you want to look at trends, Lost Ark is already doing better in that regard. And I think the real test is going to be, let's be honest, the real test is going to be in a couple of months, because that's whenever it really matters what's going to happen. Yeah, that's whenever it really makes a difference.
Okay guys, so it seems like Lost Ark is beating almost every MMO. We had to wait and see. We had to wait some months to see the actual results. What do you guys think about it? Put it in the